Yeah, hello everyone. Uh, Let us design the Turing machine for the language L is equal to set of a power n, b power n such that n is greater than or equal to 1. So we have to construct the Turing machine for this language, that is L is equal to a power n, b power n such that n is greater than or equal to 1. Okay. So here first thing is that you have to generate the language first. That means you have to generate set of strings based upon the given language property, and then we have to implement the logic for design of this Turing machine. Okay, so let me first write down the set of strings that belongs to this language. So first take n is equal to 1. So if you substitute n as 1, you will get a power 1 b power 1, that is nothing but ab. If you take n is equal to 2, you will get a square b square. So that is nothing but a b b. Okay. And if you take n value is equal to 3, then you get a cube b cube. That means 3a's followed by 3b's. 3a's followed by 3b's. Okay. So likewise, you can able to generate the set of strings that belongs to this particular language. Okay. So, if you observe this language, the number of A's and number of B's must be same. Okay, and every string must start with some number of A's and it must be followed by same number of B's. Okay, so when you design the Turing machine to accept such language, it must accept the set of all strings that are starting with A's. Okay, and having same number of A's and B's. Okay, so, how do we implement the Turing machine, or how could we design a Turing machine that accepts such language? Okay, so here first let me take one input tape here. So, here if you see at below, uh, here I have taken the input tape. Okay, so consider that I have taken the string as w is equal to a b b. Okay, so this is my input string and I want to design the Turing machine to accept such string. Okay, that consisting of same number of a's and same number of b's. Okay, so first thing, the input tape, this is the input tape that we are having. So here if you see in input tape, the sum of the cells consisting of blanks, and some of the cells are consisting of input symbol. So what are the input symbols that we are having? A b b. Okay, so these are the input symbols. Okay, and then afterwards we are having certain blank characters. Okay, so already I mentioned that the Turing machine is having certain it is having infinite tape. Okay, so whatever the finite amount of input is there, that will be stored in the cells. Okay, and remaining cell consisting of the blank characters. Okay, so let me start with initially consider that the head is pointing towards a, right? So tape head is pointing towards a. So logic here is that when I will start first pointing to head towards input symbol a. So here the head is pointing to a, right? So the moment when I see a, I replace that a with x. Okay, so that is the first point. So the moment when I find the a symbol, I replace that a with x character. Okay, now after replacing the input a with x, I move the head towards right side. So I move the head towards right side. Okay, and what I have to do here is that I keep on moving the head towards right side until I find the b character. Okay, until I find the b character or B symbol. Okay, so let me take that. I have taken this initial A symbol, I have replaced with X. I move the head towards right. Okay, so next, the moment when we move the head towards right means it is pointing to A symbol, right? It is pointing to second A, right? So uh, as I am searching for B symbol, but I got A symbol, so I have to skip that A. That means I will keep that A as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so see here, when I moved the head towards right, I found the symbol b. Okay, I found this symbol b. So the moment when I find this b, I replace that b with capital Y. Okay, I replace that b with y. Okay, After replacing that b with y, I move the head towards left. Okay, again I have to move the head towards left. So what it means, the moment when I find the a, I replace that a with x and move the head towards right. Okay, so I was moving towards right because I was searching for its matching b. Okay, so the moment when I got the matching b, I replaced that b with the y character. Okay, so for a corresponding a symbol, we have matched the corresponding b and we replace that b with y. Okay, so here what we are doing here is we are matching a symbol with respect to the b symbol. Okay, so after marking or replacing b with y, what we have to do here is we have to move the head towards the left. Why we are moving the head towards left means we are now we are searching for the next a. Okay, so where we could get second a means by moving the head towards left. Okay, so here what will happen, if I move the head towards left, what I get, I'll get a, small a, right? So here in the left side you may have any number of a's, right? So during moving towards left, whenever you get a, just skip that a. Okay, that means keep that a as it is and move the head towards left until we find the x character or x symbol. Okay, so if we move the head towards left, we get the x symbol, right? So x symbol here we got. So that means this is the first stage that we have already seen. Okay, so once we get x, what we have to do here is we have to keep that x as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so when we move the head towards right means we could found this a symbol. So once we get this a symbol, we replace that a with x, we replace that a with x and move the head towards right in search of input symbol b. Okay, while moving towards right, if you get any a's, just keep on. If you get y, just keep that y as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so that means while moving towards right, if you get any a's or any y's, keep those symbols as it is. Okay, until you get a b symbol. Okay, so once you get a b symbol means you have to replace that b with y and move the head towards left. Okay, to search for next a symbol, right? So while moving towards left, you may encounter any number of a's or any number of y's. Okay, so we have to skip all those until we find the x character. Okay, so once we get this x symbol, we have to move the head towards right. Okay, so this is how we have to implement the logic, right? So once all the a's and all the b's are converted into x and y's, you will get same number of x and same number of y's, then that particular string is said to be accepted. Okay, so I'll explain this logic clearly in the coming slide. So just for time being, just I have given a brief idea about the logic of implementation this. So here first thing is that scan the inputs from left to right. We have to scan the input from left to right. First thing, read a symbol and replace a with x. So replace a symbol with x. Okay, after replacing a, move head towards right. Yes, so what we are doing, whenever we are finding a, we are replacing that a with x and moving the head towards right. Okay, so we have to move the head towards right until we find the b symbol. Okay, so after finding this b symbol, we have to replace that b with y and move the head towards left until we find x symbol. Okay, so the moment when we get x, what we have to do is that we have to move the head towards right. Okay, so if any a is there, that will be read and it will be converted into x. Okay, it will be replaced into x and head is moved towards right to find the next p symbol. Okay, so here in fourth point, after finding x, move towards right to find next a symbol. So after that, what will happen, again we have to repeat the step 2 and step 3. Okay, until the entire input has been processed. Okay, so this is the logic for implementing the this Turing machine for this particular type of languages. Okay, So see here, how do we write that uh, moves here based upon the steps that we have taken. So first thing here is that uh, the first is that head is pointing towards A, right? So we are taking the state as Q naught. It is a initial state. So we are considering the Q naught as a initial state, right? So and the head is pointing towards A now. Okay, pointing towards A, or head is pointing to the cell containing A. So the moment when we find A, we replace that A with X and move the head towards right. Okay. So whenever we see A in Q naught, we replace that A with X. Okay. So Q naught, in Q naught, if we see A means it is the first symbol, right? So in Q naught, if we see A, we will replace that A with X and move the head towards right. Okay. Done. So this A has been converted or replaced with X. Okay. And we move from state Q0 to Q1. Okay. Now, so the moment when we get the state Q1 means we have seen first A. Okay. So we have replaced that A with X. So that is the meaning. If we are in Q1 means we have seen one A and we replace that A with X. Okay. Now we are in search of input symbol B. Okay. Now, so if you see, after replacing A with X, the head move towards right. Okay, what is the next symbol that we are having? A. So that A you have to keep as it is. That means in Q1, if you get A, keep that A as it is, keep that A as it is, and move the head towards right. Okay, move the head towards right. Okay, done. So this A will remain A itself, and we will move the head towards right. Okay, so we will be in same state Q1. Okay, we will be in same state Q1 until we get a input symbol as B. Okay, so that's why Q1 is having self transition on input A. Okay, so this one. Next one, if we get a B, so the head is pointing to B. Now in Q1, if we get B means we find the desired symbol B, so we replace that B with Y and move the head towards left. Okay, why? Because for a matching A we found the matching B. Okay, now we have to move the head towards left in search of next A. Okay, so that's why when we get a B, we replace that B with Y and move the head towards left. Okay, so see here in Q1, if we get B, we replace that B with Y and move the head towards left. Okay, and also we move from state Q1 to Q2. Okay, so if we move the head towards left means now we will get A. Okay, so that A. So here, while moving towards left, we are in search of X character, okay, or X symbol. So while moving left, if you get any A's, you keep that A as it is and move the head towards left itself, okay, until we get a X symbol. So see here in Q2, if we get A, keep that A as it is and move the head towards left, okay. So this second A we will skip it, then we will get a X symbol, right? So in Q2, if we get X symbol means keep that X as it is and move the head towards right so that it will point to the second A. Okay. So that's why in Q2, see here transition in Q2, if we get X, X will be replaced with X itself. That means we are keeping X as it is and moving the head towards right. Okay. And we are moving from Q2 to Q0. Okay. So why we are moving from Q2 to Q0 means because Q0 is the state where we are searching for one particular A symbol and we are starting matching its corresponding B. Okay. So we are, that's why we are moving from Q2 to Q0. Okay. So here what will happen? The head is pointing to second A now in Q0. Then what will happen? That A will be replaced with X. That A will be replaced with X and the head will move towards right. Okay, see here in Q0 A will be replaced with X and the head will move towards right. So and moreover we move from state Q0 to Q1. Okay, now in Q1, now what is the head is pointing towards? It is pointing to Y, right? So in Q1, if we get Y, keep that y as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so that's why we are having one more transition in q1, right? So q1 we are having y slash y comma r. That means in q1 if you get y, keep that y as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so after marking a with x, we are moving the head towards right side. Okay, so we are in search of the input symbol b, right? So in between, during right movement, in between if we get any what we can call yes or any y symbols, we keep them as it is and move the head towards right until we find the b symbol. Okay, so here we got y, so keep that y as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so after that the head is pointing to b. Okay, second b, and we are in the state q1. So in q1, if we get b, we will replace that b with y and move the head towards left. So here that b will be replaced with y, second b will be replaced with y, and we move the head towards left. Okay, and we go from state q1 to q2. Okay, now so what will happen during movement, during left movement of the head, if we find any y's or any a's, we have to keep those as it is and we have to keep on moving left until we get x symbol, right? So if we move the head towards left means what will you get? We will get y. Okay, so y will remain y and we will move the head towards left. So we get x here, right? So this x we got, so x, right? So the moment when we get x means we have to keep that x as it is and move the head towards right and also move from state q2 to q1. Okay, so see here, so we got this x in q2, we replace that x with x and move the head towards right. Okay, so in q naught, see here we are in now q naught and the head is pointing to this y, head is pointing to this first y, right? The head is pointing to first y. So what it means in q naught, if we get y means, what it means, we have no s, right? So in q naught if we get y means we are not having any further s to convert to x, right? So in q naught if we get y, we will keep that y as it is and move the head towards right. Okay, so why we are moving towards right? When we found y symbol in q naught, we are in q naught if we got y means we have marked all yes, right? And we are moving the head towards right to check whether any b's are left or not. Okay, so do we have any more number of b's than yes? Okay, that we have to check. Okay, so that's why when we get y in q naught, we are keeping that y as it is and moving the head towards right side. Okay, so now what will happen if you move the head towards right means you will get another y and we will move from state q0 to q3. Okay, now in q3 we got second y, so that y will remain y it is and we are moving the head towards right. Okay, now so in q3 if we get any number of y's, we will be keeping that y's as it is and moving the head towards right. So this process will remain this process will be repeated until we find a blank symbol, right? So in q3 if we get a blank, okay, that means if we get a blank means in q3 if we get a blank means we have marked all x and all y's, that means we got matching a's and matching b's. So in q3 if we get a b means blank means keep that blank as it is, that means replace that blank with blank and move the head towards right. Okay, so here you can also move the head towards left, it doesn't matter. So the thing is that in q3 we must get a blank symbol. Okay, and you can move the head towards either left side or right side. Okay, so in q3 if we get a blank symbol, we replace that blank with blank and we are moving towards right, and also we are changing the state from q3 to q4. Okay, and we are marking that q4 as a final state. Okay, so this is how we have implemented the Turing machine. Like, okay, so let me take one another case, failure case, so that you could understand what is happening there. Okay, I am taking this instantaneous description here. See here, I have taken the string as ABB, right? So it must be rejected because the number of A's and number of B's are not same, right? So initially the head is pointing towards A and we are in state Q naught, right? So what we are doing in Q naught, if we get A, we replace that A with X, okay, and moving the head towards right, and we are in state Q1, right? So the head has moved towards right. Now it is pointing to B and we are in state Q1, right? So so we got B in Q1. So what we will do, we will replace that B with Y, okay, and we move from state Q1 to Q2 and move the head towards left, okay, and move the head towards left. So when we move the head towards left means, we move the head towards left means, now what we are having, we are in Q2, okay, and we move the head towards left means now it is pointing to X, okay. So in Q2, if we get X means what we have to do, keep that X as it is, okay, and move the head towards right, okay. So we are moving the head towards right, okay, that X will be remain as it is and we are moving the head towards right. Now in which state we are in now? We are in Q naught, right? So in Q naught, what we got, the head is pointing to Y. So in Q naught, if we get Y, keep that Y as it is and move the head towards right and change from Q naught to Q3, right? So now the head is pointing to small b input symbol and we are in state Q3, okay. So in Q3, if you see, we don't have a transition for input B, right? So in Q3, we are not having a transition for input B, that is small b. So that's why we can say here that the Turing machine has halted in the state Q3. Okay, since the Turing machine has halted in the non-final state Q3, the string ABB is rejected. Okay, so this is how we could check for this acceptance and rejection, right? So I think you got a clear idea that why we are considering the state Q3 and Q4, right? So in Q naught, if we get Y means we are moving towards right to search whether all the B's were marked as Y's or not, right? So in Q2, if we get X means and if we get X or sorry, in Q naught, if we get Y means it means that we have marked all A's with X, okay. And in Q3, what we are doing is that we are moving the head towards right and we are searching whether any B's has left or not, okay. So if any B's were left or were not replaced with Y means the string was rejected because that string is not having equal number of A's and B's, okay. If all the B's were marked with Y means, then definitely we will get a blank symbol at the end in state Q3 and we move from Q3 to Q4, that is final state, okay. Right. So this is the instantaneous description that can be used for proving the acceptance or rejection of a string. So see here, initially we are taking like blank followed by initial state Q naught. This is the string AABB. So in Q naught on A, what we are doing? Q naught on A means we are replacing that A with X, okay, and moving the head towards right. So the instantaneous description will become Bx. What is the resultant state? Q1. So that state you have to write Q1. What is the remaining input that is to be processed? ABB. Okay. Now in Q1 A means what we have to do? Keep that A as it is and move the head towards right, and B in the same state Q1. So as we are moving the head towards right means what will happen? This A will come before the state, right? So you'll get BXA, the state is same Q1. The next input that we have to process is BB, okay. Next in Q1, if we get B means replace that B with Y and move the head towards left. So what will happen? BX, the resultant state is Q2 and we have to write A. Why we are writing A after the state means we have moved the head towards left. So left means it must point to A. Since it is pointing to A means it must be written after the state, okay. So Q2 AYB, okay. Now we are in state Q2 and the current input is A. Current input is A. Now in Q2, if we get A means keep that A as it is and move the head towards left. So what will happen, since we move the head towards left means we will get B, current state will be Q2 X A Y B. Okay, now we are in Q2 and the head is pointing to X. So the moment when we get X in Q2 means keep that X as it is and move the head towards right and change from Q2 to Q0. Okay, so first move the head towards right. So we'll get BX. What is the resultant state now? Q0, and the input that is to be processed is AYBB. Okay, AYBB. Okay, here I am small b is there. AYBB. Now in Q0, if you get A means replace that A with X and move the head towards right and change the state from Q0 to Q1. So what we will get? BXX Q1YB. We are in state Q1 and we are considering the input as Y. So if we get Y in Q1 means keep that Y as it is and move the head towards right. So we'll get BXXY. The state will be Q1 itself and next input to be processed is B, small b, capital B. Okay. In Q1 if we get B means replace that B with Y and move from Q1 to Q2 and move the head towards left. Okay. So since we are moving the head towards left means we will get BXX. What is the state? Q2. Next to be processed is YYB. Okay. In Q2 if we get Y, keep that Y as it is and move the head towards left by remaining in that same state. So we'll get BX Q2 XYYB. Okay. In Q2 if we get X means we have to move from Q2 to Q0, replace that X with X and move the head towards right. Okay. So if we are moving towards right means you will get BXX Q0 YYB. So in Q0 if we get Y means replace that Y with Y and move the head towards right and also move from state Q0 to Q3. So we will get BXXY Q3 YB. Okay. In Q3 if we get Y, then what we have to do? Keep that Y with that means replace that Y with Y, move the head towards right and be in the state Q3. So next ID will be BXXYY Q3. Next input is B. In Q3 if we get B means replace that B with B and move the head towards right and move from state Q3 to Q4. So you'll get BXXYY Q4. Obviously it will points to the next cell that is having blank. Okay. So in Q4 we don't have any outgoing transitions. So here the Turing machine halts and during halt we'll check whether Q4 is final or not. Since it is a final state, the string AABB is accepted. Okay. So this is how you have to prove the acceptance of a string. Okay. Okay. Let us move towards the next problem. So here we are considering the Turing machine as a transducer, right? So till now we have considered the Turing machine as a language acceptor, right? So we have designed the Turing machine that accepts certain types of languages. Okay. So the Turing machines that we have implemented so far are simply we could say language acceptors. Okay. But here from this slide onwards we are going to discuss how to construct the Turing machine that accepts some input and produce some output, right? So that's why we are using the word here as transducer. So transducer is nothing but it is a device that takes some input and produce some output, right? So here the Turing machine will take some input and produce some output, right? So already I mentioned at the introductory part that the Turing machine could act like a language acceptor as well as a transducer, right? So first point we have discussed and we have solved the certain problems related to that, and from this point onwards we are going to implement the Turing machine that would work like a transducer. Okay. So here see the question is design a Turing machine to perform once a complement of a given binary string, right? So first thing here, given binary string means what could be the sigma. So binary consisting of zeros and ones. So the sigma could be, that is alphabet set could be 0 comma 1. Sigma is equal to 0 comma 1. Now what could be this tau So what we are going to write onto the stack, what we are going to write onto the input tape, what we are going to write onto the input tape, we are going to write 0, okay, we are going to write 1s. So generally the tape is consisting of input, the input consisting of zeros and ones, so that's why we got 0 comma 1. And how we are replacing that 0 and 1? So ones complement means whenever you get 0 it must be converted to 1, and when we get 1 it must be converted to 0, okay. So that's why the tau tape symbol, set of tape symbol consisting of 0 comma 1 comma b, okay. So this is how we are defining the alphabet set sigma and tau. Okay, right. So let me explain the logic first. So consider the tape that we are having first. So in the tape, we are having certain blanks and certain binary string. Let me take a binary string as 0, 1, 1, 0, blank. Okay, and after blank you will get blank, any number of blanks. Okay, now see here. So we will start at Q naught and the head will be pointing to 0. Okay, so in Q naught, if we get 0 means we replace that 0 with 1, okay, and move the header towards right. Okay, so we will be in the same state. Next, in Q naught, if we get 1, replace that 1 with 0 and move the header towards right. So when we move towards right means it is pointing to 1. So in Q naught, if we get 1 means replace that 1 with 0 and move the header towards right. So it is now pointing to 0 and we are in state Q naught. So in Q naught, if we get 0 means replace that 0 with 1 and move the header towards right. Okay. So in Q naught, if we get blank means we have to go to the final state. Okay. So in Q naught, if we get blank, replace that blank with blank and move the header towards right. And also move from state Q0 to Q1. Okay, so Q1 we are considering it as a final state. So we will be in state Q0 as long as we are getting zeros or ones, right? So the moment when we get a blank in Q0, we will move from Q0 to Q1, right? So what it means, if we get blank in Q0, it means that we have processed the entire input, right? So the moment when we process the entire input in Q0, we move from Q0 to Q1, that is the final state. Okay, so how could we realize that we have processed the entire input? That means in Q0, if we get blank means we have processed the entire input, right? And once we get a blank in Q0, we move from Q0 to the final state. So that leads to the acceptance of the string, right? So here you may get a doubt, sir, in Q0, if we are replacing the blank with blank, okay, why we are moving towards right? So you may move towards either left or right, it doesn't matter. Okay, so just to as I have to take one move either towards left or right, I have taken the right move. Okay, you may also select the left move. So in Q naught, if you get a blank, you could replace that blank with blank and move the head towards left. Okay, so this is how we could implement the Turing machine for this to produce the ones complement. So see here in Q naught, it is initial state. We are having the self transition in Q naught. So it means if you get 0 in Q naught, replace that 0 with 1 and move the head towards right. Okay, and be in the same state. So in Q naught, if we get 1, replace that 1 with 0 and move the head towards right. Okay, so we will be in same Q naught until we get a blank. So in Q naught, if we get a blank, replace that blank with blank and move the head towards right. Okay, so in Q0, in Q1, the Turing machine will halt, since the Q1 is the final state, the string is said to be accepted. Okay, so how do we construct the state transition table for this Turing machine? So as I mentioned earlier that we have to write down the states first. So we are having state Q0, Q1. Okay, so Q0 is the initial state, Q1 is the final state. Okay, next here you are going to have tape symbol, right? So instead of sigma you are having tape symbol. So what we are writing, that means what are the symbols that are there on tape? 0 is there, 1 is there, blank is there. Yeah, right? Now, in Q naught, if we are getting 0 means we are in the same state Q naught. So first we have to write down the resultant state, comma. Next, how we are replacing 0 with 1. So right symbol you have to write 1. And how we are moving the head. We are moving the head towards right. So this is the case in Q naught. If we get 0. In Q naught, if we get 1 means be in same state. Okay. Replace 1 with 0 and move the head towards right. Okay, done. Next, in Q naught, if we get a blank, replace that blank with, sorry, what is the resultant state? Resultant state is Q1, comma, replace that blank with blank and move the head towards right. Okay, that's it. And Q1, do we have any transitions from Q1 on 0, dash, 1? No, so that's why dash. Q1 on B, we don't have any transition, so that's why dash. Okay, so this is how we write the state transition table for the Turing machine. Okay. Next, how could we check the acceptance? To take a string W is equal to 0, 1, 0. This is the string. Okay. So now initial ID will be something like blank. We are starting with Q naught 0, 1, 0. Okay. This is step. Next, what we are doing Q naught on 0, we are replacing that 0 with 1, moving the head towards right. So since we are moving the head towards right means 0, that means 0 will be replaced with 1 and we are moving the head towards right. So B1, right? Now what is the state? Q naught itself. So we are in Q naught. What is the next input that is to be processed? 1, 0. So this is the ID. Okay. Next one. B1. Now we are in state Q naught. If we get 1 means we have to replace that 1 with 0, move the head towards right. So write down that. And we are moving from state Q naught to Q naught itself, that is self transition. And next input to be processed is 0. Okay. Next one. So blank 1, 0. Q naught on 0 means we replace that 0 with 1 and move the head towards right. Okay. And we will be in same state Q naught. And after 0, we will get blank. Okay. In Q naught, if we get blank means what we are doing? We are replacing that blank with blank and moving the head towards right. So 1, since we are moving the head towards right means it will come before the state. So what is the resultant state? We are moving from Q0 to Q1. Next input that is to be processed is B. Okay. So if you see in Q1, so final ID we got is B 1 0 1 B Q1 B. Okay. So here we don't have the transition from Q1 on B. So here the Turing machine halt. So Q1 is the final state. So the Turing machine is halted, right? So once the Turing machine is halted, you can read out the input tape so that you will get an output. So what is the input tape is consisting of blank 1 0 1 blank, right? So blank 1 0 1 blank. So just ignore the blanks. So you'll get the output as 1 0 1. Okay. So what is the input that we have given 0 1 0? What is the its corresponding output? It is 1 0 1. Okay. So this is how we could implement the Turing machine for the given problem. So here the Turing machine is performing some sort of computation, right? So it is accepting the input, performing certain computations and giving the output back. Okay. So that's why we are saying that Turing machine is working as a transducer. Okay. So remember that while considering the Turing machine as a transducer, we don't have the final state, right? So we don't have the final state. So generally, I have mentioned the final state, but generally, transducers don't contains any final state, right? So transducers don't contains any final state, right? So in Q1, if we don't have the transition for blank means the Turing machine will halt there, right? And whatever the input tape content is there, that will use the output. Okay, so that will use the output, right? So specifically, we don't have any final state in the case of the transducers. Okay. So after halting the Turing machine, whatever the content is there on the input tape, that will work as an output. Okay. So that is one more point. So we will discuss the remaining problems in the next session. Okay. So practice some of the problems related to these Turing machines. Okay. Practice the problems which I already discussed now. If you get any doubts, bring it to my notice. I will clarify those doubts in the next session. Okay. So thank you for attending this session. Have a nice day.